Hey everyone, it's Stranger Grayson here. Welcome back to another horror movie review. Today, we'll be taking a look at another one of the Friday the 13th movies, and before I get started, I want to let you guys know I'm collabing with Strange Michael and Goosebumps Boy. I'll leave a link to both their channels in the description down below. We're reviewing the Friday the 13th franchise. I'll make sure to leave a link to both their channels. They're amazing guys. Go check them out. I've been kind of nervous about this movie because I've heard a lot of negative opinions on it. And I gotta tell you, my opinion has changed from like 8 years ago since I first watched this film. And it's been so long since I've watched it, I forgot most of the film until today. And that is Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. First off, I just want to say I do not like this cover art that Scream Factory chose. I definitely prefer the reverse art, or not the reverse art. I definitely prefer the mask for the poster in Part 5. But, you know, it's fine for what it is. At least we get a cool back here. But yeah, this is probably one of my least favorites out of the Scream Factory release. So, Friday the 13th, Part 5. What is it about? This movie opens up with a dream sequence, and it is Tommy Jarvis from Part 4. He is played by Corey Feldman, but not for long. Corey Feldman is only in the dream sequence. And in the dream sequence, he finds Jason's grave. He hides because some grave robbers are trying to dig up the grave and look at Jason. Jason kills them. We get to see how he looks, and then he kills Tommy in the dream. But right before he kills Tommy, the real Tommy wakes up. Unfortunately, Corey Feldman could not make it. I think they wanted to get him back, but he was busy filming Goonies at the time. It was either Goonies or Goonies 2. I'm not sure which one it was. Or it may have been The Lost Boys. Anyway, they couldn't get him back, but they were able to get a deal for him to be in the dream sequence. Tommy is now played by John Shepherd, which, I gotta be honest, not my favorite Tommy Jarvis. Probably my least favorite Tommy Jarvis so far. But, I mean, he does well for what the script has given him. So, Tommy is being transported to a mental institution named Pinehurst. Now, Pinehurst is less restrictive than most mental institutions are. This place wants you to, like, you know, get out, do stuff, don't be intertwined and just be locked up. They want you to, like, live like a normal human being. So Tommy meets all these people. He also gets introduced to the guy who runs the place, Matt, and his assistant, Pam. They talk him through everything, and then Tommy goes to his room. After that, we get introduced to a little kid named Reggie, who is definitely the comic relief of this movie. I enjoyed his character. Then we get introduced to a few others like Joey, Jake, Victor, Violet, Robin, Eddie, and his girlfriend. Also, Reggie's grandfather. And while this is going on, we cut to a scene where Joey is wanting to help out some of these people. He eventually gets to the guy, Victor, who has a lot of anger issues. You can tell just by the way he's acting and what he's doing. He's chopping wood. So Joey tries to make a conversation. He tries to help him. Victor gets pissed off at him. Joey says a smart remark, and this dude takes his axe and freaking chops Joey to death. That was so shocking to me, and it probably shocked a lot of people in the audience because you don't expect just a random dude to go and kill one of his associates at a camp or at a institute. So after this happens, everybody's annoyed. They're freaked out. And then murders start happening around Pinehurst before eventually it starts happening in Pinehurst. So now Tommy's wondering if Jason has come back for the dead. If Jason has come back from the dead for revenge. I can't talk today, guys. I'm so sorry. Friday the 13th, Part 5 was a movie that I hated a while ago when I was like 7 years old when I first watched this. I know I was a young kid. I got introduced to horror mainly because of my mom, because she likes horror movies. But when I first watched this movie was so it urged the heck out of me to like, why would you make a movie? Like, you make a final chapter and then you decide to make another one. The main thing that bothered me was the ending with the whole twist. While the ending still bothers me now, the movie still makes up for that with its kills, some of the characters, and the writing was all right. So the characters themselves, while I did not enjoy all of them, like Eddie, his girlfriend, Violet, Robin, I didn't really enjoy all those people. I do think Pam, Tommy, and Reggie were like my top 3 favorite, because they had a very nice, Tommy and Pam had like a very nice bond throughout the film. The kills in this film were still pretty gory, not as gory as part 4, but God, the body count was so high in this film. It was so high. Then, I forgot to mention, there's a couple other redneck characters. They're sort of like the bikers from part 3, but not really. I think these people are more enjoyable than the bikers from part 3. They're very rude, and they are funny, but this Junior, the son, he's kind of annoying. I really didn't like him, but the mom was freaking hilarious. I enjoyed her. But yeah, I enjoyed. The other people I really didn't like. Like I said, the kills were great. The whole whodunit aspect, which they were trying to, in my opinion, go back to part 1 and do like another whodunit aspect. While I won't tell you who did it, and I won't tell you most of it, I think this whodunit aspect was done way better. While the reveal was freaking terrible, I hated it. It was kind of underwhelming. I wouldn't say I hate it. That's a strong word. I disliked the reveal. Yeah, it was just very bare bones. Didn't really get a lot of excitement out of me, And the writing was not as good as part 4, but I definitely think it was better than parts 3, 2, and 1. It just had a better budget, you could tell. I do like how we're getting away from like a lake summer camp type of thing, and we're going to like a mental institution, Pinehurst. Well, of course it is in the woods and it's still like around a forest. I'm just glad we got away from like the Crystal Lake aspect. It was a nice change of pace, sort of like what part 3 was. While it was at a lake, it was still like at a lake house, not a or a lake cabin, not a whole camp. I do like the change of scenery from that. But I'm really glad Tommy Jarvis got to stay for another sequel, which I will talk about tomorrow. But I gotta be honest, Tommy was kind of wasted in this role. He showed up a lot, like in the middle, or in the beginning and some of the middle. But I feel like he was kind of wasted, if you know what I mean. Like, we didn't really get to see him interact with many people besides Pam and Reggie. Other than that, I just hate what they did with his character. I think he gets a lot better in part 6, just so you guys are aware. But John Shepherd, of course, he was an alright actor. Pam, while she's not my favorite final girl, I do think that she's better than Alice and Chris from parts 1 and 3. Trish and Jenny are still probably my top 2 favorite. Jason with the dream sequence, he looked amazing in that. The practical effects was awesome. I don't think Tom Savini came back to do it, but that is a shame. But what Jason looked like in the dream sequence, I thought that was pretty amazing. Yeah. So I'm gonna stop talking before I spoil a lot of this movie. It was all right. If I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, it's gonna sound harsh, I would probably give it about a 7. I did not like the way the movie was headed. This movie was directed by a previous porno director, and you can definitely tell by some of the nudity in this film. But it wasn't like a rated X thing. It still kind of got, I I still got mixed feelings on that. That it was directed by a porno guy. Danny Steinman is his name. It was kind of weird to have him direct it, but you know, he did his best for what he had. And the music is still probably one of my favorites in this film. Music's pretty good. However, that ending just dropped it for me so much. I hated the reveal, you know, and it spoiled what this movie had going for it, in my opinion. But yeah, that has been my review on Friday the 13th, Part 5. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Please go check out Strange Michael and Goosebumps Boy. I'll leave a link to their channel down below. They're amazing guys. Go check them out. And I will see you guys in the next one. God bless and have a good day. Bye, everyone.